Alright, what's up out there, world? I'm gonna get a new gameplay vid up for you here. This is Lord of Apocalypse. I apologize that I haven't got as many videos up there as I would have liked the last couple of days. I've been back at work, that keeps me busy, but I'll try and meet your requests, upload some more gameplay videos here for you guys to see. So yeah, let's get started with Lord of Apocalypse here. Pleasantly surprised with the game so far. I've put a couple hours into it in the last day or so. Yeah, I would definitely describe it as a mix between Monster Hunter and the Phantasy Star Online, Phantasy Star Universe kind of style of game. A lot of people these days call games like this Monster Hunter clones, whereas I think that this, while it does share a lot of traits with Monster Hunter, it also shares a lot of traits with Phantasy Star Online universe that aren't in Monster Hunter. For example, character levels as well as special move leveling up. Like special moves like this. They have levels in this game, and you can level them up, similar to the Photon Arts in the Phantasy Star Universe series. Yeah, so anyway, character levels as well. The traits it shares from Monster Hunter include, synthesizing of armors, weapons, things like that. Boss fights, and just the general layout of the game. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and get started here. This quest is to defeat a boss called Agna. He was the boss of Chapter 1, which I have already cleared. I'm in Chapter 2 now. But this is a new mission where I can go back, not even go back, but go fight him again, basically. So why don't we do that? I figure a good mission here would be to show off a boss. So yeah, let's go ahead and roll in here. So you'll see I picked the twin axes. It's a pretty fun weapon. I can do things like that. Obviously not close enough. So you get good range there. You can see at the top my stamina bar. It takes stamina. There is no MP. Monsters drop cores like that, which are kind of special items. That's a broken goblin core. But yeah, so when the monster drops an item like that, you saw it kind of went up as an orb and came down special at me. I think those are a little more rare than the normal items, although now you can see I've gotten 2 in a row, so maybe I'm just getting lucky. That was an actual core there, that wasn't a broken core. I'll say you have things like overkill there. You get better items, I think, if you overkill enemies. I haven't figured out all of the exact mechanics of the game so far. But yeah, I mean, basic things like that. You can see this area in here is slowly draining my health, but not fast enough to really make it a bother. So you have various items in like chests and boxes. That's definitely more reminiscent of Phantasy Star there. Take the warp here. So yeah, it's kind of a door, I think, to the boss. You have to hold and lock onto it without getting hit, basically. Yeah, and then you can get some kind of a bonus going into the boss fight. Anyway, here's the boss himself, Agna. Holding L, holding the L trigger, you can target, and then using the right analog stick, you can change which part of him you actually want to target. As you can see, you can target his arms, his legs, his body, which is really handy. The right analog stick makes a big difference, not just with the camera, but also being able to target exactly where you want to hit here. Yeah, pretty awesome. Oh, that was a total fail. Sorry about that. I just set that new special attack that I just used before this quest, so I'm not used to the range on it at all. It does seem like, at least for this weapon, for the twin axes, a lot of the moves are range-based. This one, for example, if you hit him in the sweet spot, basically where I was just hitting there, it'll hit over and over and over again. But if I get too close, it'll only hit once as it goes through, and then once as it comes back. As you just saw, I got a thing that popped up saying cinematic scene with a circle. These are kind of like QTEs. Sorry, I'm not doing that very well. These are kind of like QTEs from games like Shenmue, things like that. That was a short one there, but you'll see longer ones coming up. Those just pop up randomly, and as long as you hit all the buttons in the right timing, yeah, you can do some extra damage to the bosses. I'm not quite sure how I feel about them. It does seem to, come in and disrupt a little bit from just, wanting to beat the shit out of a boss. But, I mean, we'll have to see as time goes on. If it's more of a diversion or if it, turns into something good. So yeah, I mean, obviously benefits of being able to target certain parts on a boss like this. If I want to hit his hands and make him trip onto the, if I want to hit his feet like that, make him trip onto the ground, I can do that. If I want to break his hands because his arm attacks are doing something crazy to me, I can do that. It's nice to be able to pick exactly where you want to hit. I thought that was a really nice feature. For someone like myself who is kind of a Monster Hunter purist, the thought of a lock-on at all is a little bit baffling. However, I like to think of it as, this game, like I said, it's not just Monster Hunter. It's also got, that kind of Phantasy Star Online kind of style built in there. So I think the lock-on is a good feature for a game like this with a lot of smaller enemies. And the lock-on for the bosses, it's not just lock-on. Like I showed you there, you can lock on to the various parts to do different things. So the boss wasn't too hard. Obviously, I've already beat him as a boss at the end of Chapter 1. But yeah, I mean that was a basic boss fight there. So yeah, I mean you get a completion time and a rank. I think mission ranks are cool. I've gotten an S on every mission so far, but that just must mean that I know I own. So after seeing how bad I was at Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you guys can see how good I am. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. So yeah, anyway, you can see here there are certain kind of parts that you want to try and break off of the monster before you kill him, things like that. I didn't do that, so maybe I am a failure actually. Then it just loads out the treasure that you've got. I'm just going to go ahead and send it all to my box. I usually deal with that later. Here's all the different kinds of weapons in the game. There are, it looks like 7 different types on top of kind of your elemental ability. So yeah, I'm using, they call it the tomahawk, the twin axes. So that's level 2 for me now. You do get a little bit of experience for each of the other weapons even when you're not using them, which is pretty nice because later on if you want to switch over to something else without it being completely gimped, yeah, I mean it won't be as good as what you've been leveling up, but it might be alright. That was just me saving, very quick saving. Here's the load screen, which is pretty fun. You can kind of scope your moves out, things like that while the game is loading. But the load times have generally been pretty favorable so far. Anyway, here I'm back in the town. This is basically where you accept quests, get armor, make armor, make weapons. You can collect some items like that. Yeah, save your game here. Yeah, I think that's about it. So there was a mission. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching it. Yeah, here's the people that can make new armor and weapons for you. These people over here deal more with items. Yeah, again, you can draw out certain items. And here's the guild counter. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks a lot for watching.